This tutorial has been brought to you by Profitable Business Guide, your online marketing guide.
Hi there, and thanks for watching this PipJet robot strategy overview video. As you know, we're about to release our next robot, PipJet, about 3 years after our first robot was launched in 2009. We've waited a very long time to launch a new robot. Lots of people have asked us, why have we waited so long to bring a new product into the market? The reason is really quite simple. It's not easy to create a profitable robot, unlike most people think it is. Today you see so many robots being pumped into the market. It kind of makes it look like it's easy to create a Forex robot. And really, the truth is it is easy to create a Forex robot. Any programmer can do that. However, it's very hard to create a profitable and consistent expert advisor. And that's why it took us so long to launch PipJet. We've been testing the robot for quite some time, working hard on the trading logic, and now we believe that we have what is absolutely the best Forex product on the market. Today, we're going to start to introduce to you what this product is all about. We're going to cover two areas: PipJet's strategy, how the robot works, the trading logic, the rules, and we'll go into all of that with a lot of detail. After that, we're going to go into the performance of the robot. We'll cover the accounts, we'll go over those, look at what happened over time in those accounts. And by the way, below this video, you'll see the actual accounts with some commentary about those accounts. But I recommend that you wait, let me explain how the strategy works, and then go over the accounts themselves. Okay, so some general stuff here. The trading session. The robot trades during the Asian session. Based on the strategy parameters, it might exit in the Asian session or in the European session. Sometimes, very rarely, it might continue a bit over the European session, but again, that's very rare. Most trades are open and closed on the Asian session itself. Time frame. Short term, mostly intraday trading, meaning most trades are opened and closed the same day. We've said this before. We don't believe in long-term trades. With long-term trades, there are too many occurrences that it's just impossible to speculate and know exactly what's going on. The longer a trade is open, the more uncertain things can happen in the market. The shorter a trade is open, the more certain we are about the market conditions that we're going to be trading in. The type of trading, range. The robot spots and exploits high probability reversals within a very established and consolidated price range. And that's very important. No trending here. No catching trends. We are very anti-trends. We want to find a very well-established price channel during the Asian session and trade that price channel. These price channels, if you're able to spot them correctly, as PipJet does, can be very profitable, highly accurate. And we're going to go over that in just a moment. Let's start with the trade setup. And we're going to go over the pre-trade entry criteria. 3 steps here. Step 1, wait until the U.S. session ends. Step 2, establish via price action whether the session was a trending or range-bound session. Step 3, if the U.S. session, based on RSI and CCI indicators, plus Hull MA and Andrews Pitchfork indicators, and you can see description below, was a range-bound session, then we move directly to the trade entry criteria stage. And we'll go over that in just a second. Just a bit about this, though. How the U.S. session behaves is really important. In trading, we always want to know what the general context of the market is. Since the US session is the session before the Asian session, the US session will set the tone for the Asian session. So steps 1 through 3 here take care of that element. Normally the Asian session is a range session, meaning price moves in a well-defined channel. But that channel can be an up-moving channel or a down-moving channel. So if the trend during the US session is an uptrend or a downtrend, that would mean the channel in the Asian session would act accordingly. It would be either a channel going up or a channel going down. If the US session was a range session, it would be a channel going sideways in the Asian session. We identify obviously how strong the trend was in the US session. We identify if it's part of a 3-day or longer ongoing trend. That's really, really important because that means it's a strong trend, okay, if it's going on for that long. Or if it's a US session only trend, or the trend began following an event, for example, a news release. These 4 elements are very important because the reason for the trend, the strength of the trend, allows us to be better equipped in how we're going to trade the Asian session. Step number 4, if any of the following are true, trade is suspended until the next day. And you can see all of these scenarios here. For example, scenario A, and trend is stronger than our upper threshold. The robot establishes an upper threshold internally. Scenario B, obviously discussed earlier. Scenario C, and trend is stronger than our median threshold. Or scenario D, and the move exceeds our dynamically computed pip limit. Steps 4 and 5 are actually great filters. You don't want to get into the Asian session knowing there are strong moves in the market. You want a calm Asian session that'll be predictable, that's going to allow you a high accuracy rate in determining the low and high of the session. In other words, the low and high of the channel of the Asian session. That's really important. And step number 5, if none of the scenarios mentioned in step number 4 have occurred, then pre-trade criteria is considered met, and we move to the next stage of the trade setup and management process, the trade entry criteria. Okay, so the trade entry criteria. Obviously, all the requirements of the pre-trade criteria analysis have been met. The robot's going to look to enter a trade based on the following 3 steps. It's going to wait until 9 p.m. UTC. And starting at 9:01 UTC, it'll begin measuring tick volume. We covered tick volume and its importance with the US CAD and how it really skyrocketed over the last few years. That is really, really key behind the strategy of PipJet. It's a huge discovery we made, which is making the robot perform very well. Step 3, wait until both of the following take place. Average tick volume over the last 15 minutes, and that's a great filter, is at least 30% of the average M15. M15 is a time frame. Tick volume of the US session. Number 2, average spread over the last 15 minutes is below 3.3 pips. And we found that this generally indicates the fills will take place at the average spread or better. So when spread reaches the 3.3 average over a 15-minute period during the start of the Asian session, you're going to get quite a good fill, and quite a good fill when you exit the trade as well, because it indicates a certain market condition is taking place. And obviously, unless both of these requirements have been met, the strategy cannot proceed to step 4. One more thing, if these requirements have not been fulfilled, by 11 p.m. UTC, trading is going to be suspended for the day. Okay, step